Hey guys, this is week 3. You've just finished week 2. I know you guys are feeling really great right about now. At least I am about your progress that I'm seeing, so keep that up. Today let's talk about stress and how that may affect you. And one thing I know about stress is really related to how you react to it, and that's what we want to talk about today. So from a wellness side and nutrition side, I'm sitting here with the 2 best experts in town to talk about it. So Dr. Elena, let's kick it off with your take on stress.
Let's kick it off. Let's punch stress down. Yeah, let's
punch it in the face.
Squash.
In the face. Okay, sorry.
No more stress. Stress less, right? That's the
go.
good thing
Stress
that
less.
we have going on at Northwest CrossFit. So when we think about stress, I want you to think about the whole spectrum of stress. So normally people think about stress as something totally negative. It doesn't have to be that way. So we have on one end of the spectrum, we have stress where it's like you have so little stress that you're literally just a couch potato and you're not being productive and you're not functional. Then we have the other side of the spectrum, which is you're stressed out of your mind and you're also not being very productive and not very functional. So we're here to talk to you about how to be more proactive rather than reactive when it comes to your daily stress management. So I've got a couple great tips for you guys. Number 1 is create awareness. So identify what is your stress. Is it in planning? Is it work? Is it taking care of your health? You know, you're surrounded by great coaches and great staff, including myself, who can kind of help you identify what your stressors are and maybe help you break some of those negative habits, that you may have. The other great tip is breathing. So a lot of times we stop breathing, when we're talking when we're talking fast, or when we're in a stressful situation. So it's taking a moment for yourself and maybe using an app or a tool that's now readily available on the phone or on a computer that you can separate yourself from a stressful situation and take a moment for yourself, get back to your normal breathing patterns. And I know Lamar talks a lot about in his fitness classes and coaching about what is proper breathing. So he's also a great resource. The other really cool topic that I want to talk about is the essential nutrients to help promote a healthy response to stress. So again, it's going back to the concept of it's not necessarily stress, but our reaction to stress that's really kind of the bad guy here. And so when I think about nutrition, when I think about from a medical perspective some of the things that your body may need, I'm thinking about a lot of B vitamins. I'm thinking about magnesium, essential fatty acids, coconut oil, so those healthy fats combined with protein that will help you create a healthier response to stress, things that will help you stabilize your blood sugar throughout the day. And I think this is a great point for Acacia to talk about is nutrition, how you can maximize it throughout the day.
Absolutely. So brilliant points, Elena. She touched on some key things that we'll kind of revisit here, but think about stress. I want you guys to take a moment right now and think about stress as a fire. Okay, and nutrition is actually, that can be a tool that will either fuel the fire because you can eat inflammatory foods, processed foods, those sweet, indulgent type of foods that will actually make that response to stress worse. Or you can fuel your body with nutrient-rich, wholesome foods and it will suppress that fire and squash it down. So nutrition plays an integral role on how your body responds to stress. So thinking about that for a moment and kind of reflecting back on past situations where you've been in a stressful environment, whether that be at work, at home, friends, family, whatever that looks like for you.
Don't think too much. Let's not get you stressed out right now.
We don't want to get there. We don't want to get you stressed out.
Don't think too far back,
But the key is, as Elena touched on, is how can you be proactive about it rather than reactive? That's the key point. So let's think about this. I'm sure you guys have experienced this, but there is a correlation between stress and the desire for food or for cravings. So those two go hand in hand, and oftentimes when we're sick or when, again, we're emotionally stressed, we have a craving for our vices or those comfort foods, whether that be salty, crunchy, sweet, sugary. Cookies. Lamar says, Elena? Pizza.
Sweet potato fries.
Or that glass of wine after work.
Okay.
Micro
Bring it back. Okay. That's our stuff. Yes.
Identify your triggers. You know what they are. You know, they might be that bag of potato chips in your desk drawer at work. Whatever those foods are, you've got to have an alternative. And it doesn't have to be a healthy food alternative, okay? You need to have, you know, something that you can do when you're experiencing that stress that will take your mind off of the food, because there's a huge difference between physical hunger for food and that emotional response to hunger, that craving for food. So we'll identify that in a moment. But thinking about kind of non-food alternatives that you can do to relieve yourself would be the breathing that Elena and Lamar touched on.
20 burpees that Lamar will talk about.
There's a lot of things. So what works for you? So that's something you've got to think about this week. But then a little tool that I have for you guys also on the nutrition side is thinking about the difference between hunger, the physical hunger, and the emotional hunger, or what I like to call false hunger. So physical hunger here is going to be, that's going to build up gradually, and you don't have a craving or yearning for a specific type of food, okay? Emotional hunger comes on suddenly, and it's usually geared towards something specific, like that, you know, salty, crunchy potato chip, or the really sugary donut that you know is waiting for you on the counter over there. Those are cravings or emotional responses to hunger. So first identify which of the two it is. And if you're not sure still, I want you to take 5. Wait 5 minutes, okay? Because sometimes all it takes is a couple minutes for your body to kind of recalibrate and realize that, you know, you're not really hungry. So taking that 5 minutes, if after about 5 minutes you're still not sure, drink a glass of water, or maybe practice some of the tips that Lamar's going to talk about here as it relates to exercise.
Perfect. So some things that I find when I get stressed or I'm in that emotional state is I break it with some activity. So either getting up, going for a walk, something if I'm in the gym or if I'm anywhere with open space, do some burpees, do some push-ups, do something that moves the blood around and gets my brain breaking that pattern of thought of being hungry or being emotionally attached to some food. Works really well for me. So again, try it. Take the 5 minutes, focus on your breathing, do some burpees. We all know what a burpee is, especially you guys after the workout we just did. So on that note, are you sore from that?
Sore from the burpees, yeah.
So burpees, push-ups, taking a walk, breathing, these are all things that can help manage that stress. We look to another fruitful week, week 3, solid performance in week 2. Let's keep that momentum going. 5:30 crew, great job. 7:30 crew, amazing. So keep it up, guys.
Great job.